Yeah, we're on air now. There we go. Hey everybody, how are you today? It's Tom Coleman and of course the lovely. Let me get you on screen, Catherine Wilfong. Yay! And we've got some really great information for you today. If you've ever wondered about how creating content and dominating your market, we're going to show you how to do that today. And you just have to do it. But I'm going to show you tricks so that you'll never have to worry about creating content ever again. Okay? So I hope that makes everybody happy. So, Catherine.
Yes.
Shall we get started? Because we have a tight schedule today.
Of course.
So you want to share your screen, and we've got some slides, and we're just going to kind of roll through it. We're going to try and keep it at 30 minutes even today. So we may come out a little ahead of that. Did we get comment tracker running?
I was trying to, but I think.
Oh, go ahead and see if you can get it running real quick.
Okay.
We got a minute or two. So. Okay, everybody, we're trying to get comment tracker running. So last time we had fun getting comments, and we had to go find them.
That's good.
So we're getting a valid link yet?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, cool. So we're ready to stream the vids?
Yeah, I believe that if someone makes a comment, it should show up.
Well, we'll find out.
We will find out. All right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and share the presentation. And
okay.
Feel free to jump in at any time.
All right.
Here we go. So it's content creation. And if you've ever worried about content creation, we're going to show you exactly how to create content so that you can spread it out and dominate any niche. And it's going to be real simple. So you're going to love it. So we've got a slide share we're going to share here. Let me get we got comment tracker up. So if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay.
So it should be sharing.
Yep. I see it. You want to hit the present. So it's content creation in 3 easy steps.
Yes. And is there a present button somewhere?
Yeah, it's up at the top right.
Top. Okay, cool.
Yeah. There we go. There it is.
Yay.
Sweet. Yay. So content creation in 3 easy steps. So we're going to show you, and this is going to tie in with some of the things we've done in the past. So, and we're going to try and keep it right at 30 minutes. It may go a little bit less, okay? So let's go ahead and hit the next slide and see what we got up there. Okay, this is I don't know if some of you may have heard this before, some of you may not. This may be new to some people, but it's invest, learn, teach, and that's going to equal profit. Okay, so invest, learn, teach, and that's going to equal profit. With this method, you're going to know exactly what to talk about for the rest of your life in any niche. And I'll bet you're currently investing in coaches, courses, events, seminars, books that are in your niche right now. So everybody's consuming content in the niche that they're in. And one of the things that people do is they're not really taking notes effectively. What you'll see a lot of people, if you go to seminars, what you'll see is a lot of people just scribbling away and scribbling away and scribbling away. When you're on any webinar, seminar, reading any books, there's 2 questions you want to have in the uppermost of your mind. And one of them is, what will I implement? And the second one is, what will I teach? And they're not always the same. Sometimes they are, but they're not always the same. So when you're watching those webinars, when you're going to those events, when you're reading your books, what am I going to teach, and what am I going to implement into my business? Okay. Okay, Catherine, if you'll hit the next slide. So these are, and for your teaching mode, these are your sources of content, okay? So these are existing books that you have on your bookshelf. Because a lot of people, anytime you start anything, you start collecting books and this, that, and the other and thing. But coaching calls, and on your coaching calls, you can, if you do coaching, one of the ways you can seed that is you can talk about, when I was coaching one of my clients previously, we did X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 okay? And that kind of lets people know that you're doing coaching. And but you also, any questions you have for your coach, any language and information you get from your coach. But when you go to events, anytime you go to events, that's how you want to take your notes. What am I going to teach? What am I going to teach, and what am I going to implement? Your webinars, your podcasts, there's articles. You can go to the library. You can go to bookstores like Barnes and Nobles and look at the really popular books. You can take a look at your past notes. And what else? I mean, you can probably think of, there's content everywhere. You just have to learn how to filter it and recognize it. Recognize it, number one, and filter it so that you can implement it quickly, because money loves the speed of implementation. So that's why you want to go into it with those two things in mind. What am I going to teach? What am I going to implement? Okay, any questions, or otherwise we just keep moving? Okay, sources of ideas, and these are just some general sources, but these are really, this is really good information here. You're going to love this. When you go to the grocery store and you go through the checkout area, you see all those magazines that are sitting there just waiting for you to grab them. And a lot of them are women's magazines, but those, and I'll come back to that a little bit later, but I mean, basically, the reason that they're there is because they are very, people buy them a lot. Okay, so they're high circulation, they have some of the best copywriters, and so you can get information from that, and we'll talk about a little bit more about that in just a minute. But Amazon bestsellers, and what you're looking for is you're looking for the language in the niche that you're in, the bestsellers that are in the niche that you're in, and you're looking for titles, content that you can massage those headlines and make them, you can add numbers to them, and I'll go into that in a little bit here. But forums, ClickBank sales pages, Guru's social media blogs, sales pages from Guru's, podcasts. I mean, like I say, content is everywhere. You just have to be open to it, spread your eyes and look at it, and know how to format it so that it's useful to you, so that you can implement it quickly. And that's where your questions are: what am I going to teach, and what am I going to implement? Okay, so any questions about this so far? All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, some of the obstacles that people run into, particularly when you're new into a niche, are, why me? What do I talk about? If you're thinking about why me, first of all, people really don't care. Let me put it to you this way. When you're talking to somebody, what's the subject that they're most interested in? Catherine?
When you're talking to someone, what's the subject you're most interested in?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not clear on your question.
Okay.
When I'm talking to someone, or when
No. When I'm talking to you, do you want me talking about me all the time, or do you want me to talk about you all the time?
Well, I'm the most interesting person in the world.
Well, it's the same. That's exactly true. Everybody is the most interesting person in the world. Exactly. So
I meant that sarcastically, but yes, I was trying to answer the question. People love to talk about themselves. So
bingo. Yeah. That's exactly right, and that's true for everybody. So one of the things, if you're thinking why me, that's kind of a selfish thing, because people are not really interested. They're interested in what you can do to help solve their problem. Okay, so you don't. The why me is a selfish thing. Does that make sense, or am I not explaining that well?
Well, what were you trying to say? Why me? What does that mean?
Well, what a lot of people do is they say, well, you know, everybody else has got content out there. Why should I share the content? Well, you need to format and take that content and strain it through your experience, and you know, your particular, everybody experiences the world differently, and your experience is going to be a little bit different, and how you explain things will impact different people than how other people explain things. I
Okay,
mean, there's a natural. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say the way I say that is that people hear things differently from different people. You explain things differently than I explain things. And so some people hear things from me and understand things the way I explain them. And so they take that away and go, oh, I understand that. And then when you explain it, sometimes people understand what you're explaining and take that away. And we've explained exactly the same thing, but just differently.
Exactly. So, and different people pick up on that. Different people will understand that, and you'll get followings from that too. So, if anybody's been in sales for any period of time, you know that two people can go out there and have this exact same conversation with the same prospect, and one person will sell them and the other person won't. And it's because of you know how they get along right there, right then and there. So, it's a vibrational kind of thing. That's how I think
I
of
was
it.
going to use that word vibration. It is a vibrational thing. It's just we resonate differently, and it's our experiences. You might have grown up, and we can take it to, you might have grown up in the South, and I might have grown up in Oregon, and that person that we're talking to might have grown up in Oregon, and I can say, oh, did you know, go out to the coast and, you know, do this in Oregon? And that person, oh, I remember when we did that. And all of a sudden you've clicked on some memory, and you have that, you know, same thing, you know, shared memory that you've got, you know, had together, and you build on that. Whereas, you know, if you meet someone that grew up in the South, you know, you can talk about something and build from there. And it can even be a vibrational thing, you know, like that, or it can be some other experience that you have.
Right, but the main point is the reason it's you is because you're gonna attract different people, and you're gonna help different people. Okay,
Exactly.
so you not producing content is a selfish thing because you're consuming it, and this is how you're going to make some money. So what do I talk about? Well, we're going to solve that for you here in just a second. So
Right.
if you want to go to the next
Sure.
slide. Okay, content creation. There's content out there, and this is in your niche. Okay, it's on. You can put content out to blogs. You can put them out to podcasts. You can put them out to articles, status updates across all your different social media channels, videos, ebooks, webinars. I mean, you can take one piece of content and just reformat it and put it out everywhere. Okay. So go ahead and let's hit the next slide real quick. And why video? Because you definitely want to be doing video. Video builds rapport. It's just like talking to somebody across from the coffee table, you know. It's leveraged because it's going to be out there forever, unless it's a YouTube video and somebody pulls your channel.
You never know.
That happens sometimes. But it's simple to do, and there, you know, we've given you the formula. We're going to talk a little bit more about the formula today too. So let's go to the next slide. So, and this is when we're talking about video in this format for this is a lead generation format. Okay, if you're doing a launch, this is really not a launch sequence. That's a little bit different, and we can talk about that at another point in time. But this is lead generation. So what you're doing is basically 3 steps, or it's 4 steps in this. It's an intro. You're asking a question. You're giving them the content, and then you're doing a call to action, sending to a capture page, or telling them to email you. So you want to be everywhere, and if you're everywhere, people will pay attention, and you'll develop a big audience over time. Okay, it's just how it works. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, a lot of people are in health and wellness, and so we'll talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to show you basically 5 or 6 different examples of how you can go out there and use this take a look at different type of content, how you can use that to produce content real easily and quickly. Okay, so like I was telling you, your magazines by the checkout counter in the grocery stores, you can either if you go out there and you take pictures of all of them, people think you're kind of weird, but you can go make notes of what those magazines are, and then you can go look them up online. Okay, and what you're looking for is and if we've got time, we'll maybe go look at 1 or 2. But you're looking for headlines, because these are the top copywriters. These are thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of circulations, and they've got a lot of high readership. So they've got the best copywriters that they're hiring. So you can basically take some of those, and if you can add numbers to it or tweak it a little bit, and do it like that. Okay. So you want to just study the best. So take pictures, or get the ones that are in your niche, and then go look them up. And you want to model the headlines, and I'll show you exactly how that works in a second. Let's go to the next. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, now we're not saying to, take it and just, what is that word I'm looking for?
No, you don't want to copy it. You want to massage it. Yeah, you just want to massage it a little, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah. So, like this particular thing, no energy. I mean, that's a direct theft of something. But no energy. So your question is, ever struggle with having energy throughout the day? And then you share a few tips. And then your call to action is, if you'd like the supplements that I have personally tested, then email me if you don't have a capture page, or if you've got a capture page, if you'd like the supplements that I've personally tested, then click the link below, go to this, and enter your name and email address, and you have an instant download. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So these are just examples. I'm going to kind of show you how this kind of works. And these are all taken from weight loss magazines at the checkout stand. Okay, so eat holiday goodies and still lose weight. Here are a couple of tricks that allow you to party without the guilt. Give them some tricks. And then want to know my actual morning workout routine? Email me and you can actually say that in your video. So these are 3-minute videos or less. Okay, so it's very, if you're going and you're looking at stuff, and you're in your niche, and you're reading in your niche, and you're being in your niche, and you're active in your niche, then most of the stuff you can just take those headlines, and it helps you get your content out to a wider audience. And what you're doing is delivering really great content to them.
I also think what this is, Tom, is that these people that are writing this content, that are great content writers, know the buzzwords that people pick up on in this particular niche. So if you're really active in your niche, and you're looking at the magazines and the articles that are really circulating within your niche, then you're looking at what people read and want to see within your niche. So you're going to want to reuse some of those words and wording, because it identifies you within that particular niche. You don't want to use words that people don't associate with what you're trying to give information on.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better. That's exactly right. Good job. Okay. Let's go to the next one. But that's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. So this is I spelled it wrong, but belly fat fix. Okay, that's the title on the magazine. So belly fat fix, 9 simple exercises. I mean, you can do that to almost anything. And then, so here are nine exercises for you. Would you like to know my full routine to tone and shape your butt and thighs and guys get a six-pack abs? Email me at, or send them to a capture page for automations, so you just automate everything. And remember, once you've got these videos out there, your blog post out there, they're going to be out there forever. And so you've got traffic coming to it, you're building up your audience, and this gets a huge, I mean, it just builds and builds and builds, and once it hits that tipping point, man, it's just automatic. So you just have to create this stuff and get it out there, and you'll see how it works. You can just dominate any niche doing this. Let's go to the next. Okay, this is the headline: Burn Fat Fast. Okay, so burn fat fast, 3 tricks to melt holiday pounds. Here are 3 tips, yada yada yada. And if you're into health and wellness, you probably know 3 tips, or you probably know 9 tips or 10 tips. If you don't, you can go out there and find them real quick. And then your call to action is, want to know my recipes for how I lost 10 pounds, that final 10 pounds. Email me at, or send them to a capture page, and that automates everything. So let's go to the next one. I hope this is making sense.
This does. And, I think anything that you put up here really can't be copyrighted, because basically any of these sentences are, you're just saying, hey, do you want to ask me a question? I don't think someone can copyright that.
Well, here's the thing: you don't want to copy directly, because what you're doing, if you put duplicate content out there, Google can tell who had the, well, kind of they can tell who had the content first, and so I mean your rankings won't, you won't benefit from it. Your rankings won't benefit from it. So a lot of this, if you're doing it, you're going to wind up with a lot of stuff out there that's going to be ranking in Google, and you get a lot of words that are ranked. So you're going to, over time, you get traffic from all over the place. So, but this is the melt belly fat in just 10 minutes a day, or I don't recall exactly what the thing was, but melt belly fat in just 10 minutes a day, and then give them the content, and then this is the format, and I hope this is opening some eyes. So, do you want my recipes, my suggested shakes, my supplements, my workouts? You can tell them, do you want XYZ? Do you want what you're trying to sell? Email me at, and they're on your list, okay? Or send them to a capture page, and they're on your list, and then you can send them, you can, correspond with them and get them to know, like, and trust you. So, and sell them stuff. So it's just cool. Let's go to the next one.
All right.
We're coming up on the. We're going to come out about right on this. So we may. So on real estate, and this is true in any niche. Okay. So real estate, go to Amazon bestsellers. And if we had time, we could go do that real quick for you. But I mean, just go to Amazon and look up bestsellers in your particular niche, and you can look at what the titles of the books are. You can look in, and they'll give you the content, and you can see the words that they're using, so you'll know the words, and you can pick titles and stuff and massage them a little bit. If you go to ClickBank, you can set up an account there, and things with high gravity, 100 or more, those are things that are selling. Your gravity is a ClickBank term, and that tells you what's selling and what's not selling. So anything with a gravity of 100 or better is selling pretty well, but the higher the better is general. So you can go look at those capture pages, and it'll tell you what the language is, and it'll tell you what some of the questions are, and it'll tell you what some of the problems are in your niche. Okay? So, and you want to use all that in your content. So, what am I going to teach? What am I going to implement? Okay? And that's the same thing is true for the books and magazines. And there's books and magazines around any niche. There's also forums around any niche. So you can go to any of these places and just think about, what can I teach? What am I going to implement? And get content out on it, and do it on the intro question, or here's this, give them the content, and then give them a call to action. Every video, call to action, call to action, call to action. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead and click. Okay, we already did it. Network marketing, same thing. Forums, ClickBank, Amazon, books, magazines, seminars, events. You know, it's just everything. It's just everywhere. Click the next one. Travel. You know, you go to travel blogs, Amazon, ClickBank, forums. You know, I mean, everybody's got blogs in a particular niche, so you can do this anywhere. You can go grab this content, massage it through your lens and through your life experiences, you know, and just you test and tweak, test and tweak, test and tweak, put it out there, put it out there, put it out there. And what you'll end up doing is, you know, if you started today, 3 years from now, you'll be making sales from stuff that you put out today. So it's just, I mean, that's how it works. So, but the best thing to do is get immersed in your niche. So you want to attend events, hire coaches, you want to do prospecting, real estate. If you're in the real estate niche, you're doing deals, you're selling houses, you're selling commercial buildings, whatever. Travel, you're traveling, you know, different cities, different countries, and writing about it. Health and wellness, then you're always working out and you're studying stuff in the niche. So, I mean, and that's how you get the language and learn the problems, and then it's just that 3-step video, you know. So intro, question, content, call to action, and you're putting that out on your blog. You put it out. You can break it down and do podcasts with that. I mean, you put it across your social media. You just spread it out everywhere. So, and you can dominate any niche if you'll do this in a systematic way. And you'll just ask yourself, what am I going to teach? What am I going to implement? And boom, you're off to the races. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I hope that helps people, because that if you see, you can I mean, it just works like a charm. And it's quick to do, and it's easy. It's easy. And one of the things, like women, I mean, some people don't like to be on camera. I think that's our last slide.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, come on back on then. But some people don't like to have their face on camera. And what you can do is you can do PowerPoints just like this. Okay? But people really do prefer to see your face, and it is better to see your face. So if you do this enough, you'll get used to it. And I mean, everybody's first video was terrible, and still some of my videos are not that good. But you know, you just try and get better every day. Just try and get better every day, every day, every day. So we're at 12:28, so we got 2 minutes left. So if anybody has any questions.
I haven't seen anything, but then again.
Yeah, who knows if anything's working. That's okay. Well, that's it. So it's 12:29. So we stuck within the 30-minute time frame. So we're going to wrap it up now. Catherine, you have any last words you want to say?
No, I think that was a great slide share and very thorough.
Well, if go back and look at it, because if you'll, I mean, if you'll take what we showed you at this webinar, you'll never have to worry about content again, ever, in any niche. And if you take that and just spread it out, you can dominate it. And we're going to keep doing more on this little series, okay? So I hope you found it good. Please share it on your social media, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Everybody have a great one. Bye-bye.